Hi, my name is Jessica, and I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis 5 years ago. I got 2 college degrees in the arts in 2014. I completed a tattoo apprenticeship and became a licensed master tattooer. I opened up my own tattoo shop and purchased my own home. I bought my first brand new car, drove it straight off the lot. I was so proud of myself. It was a 6-speed manual gearbox transmission, Honda Civic. It was a gorgeous car, and I thought I was, hot stuff. And I continued to tattoo, and I met a guy, and he turned out to be incredibly abusive. He fathered a child with me, and for me, I suppose you could say. The child was very much planned. We had been together for years over a trauma bond. I found out I had MS in 2020. We started dating in 2019. And I just don't think he could ever handle it. He never accepted my diagnosis any more than I ever have. It's a hard diagnosis. I still don't shake. Might never. People with MS don't always shake. We don't always get ataxia. We don't always get aphasia. It's a snowflake disease. There's no known cause. There's no official known reason as to why I acquired MS. All we know is that I've probably had it for most of my life. I wouldn't know probably that I even have MS if it hadn't been for the severe and horrific abuse that I endured over the last 6 years. Since I met my abuser, and he gaslit me and love bombed me, and it's one of the saddest things I've ever been through in my life. One of the scariest and saddest and also happiest things I've ever been through in my life, because I now have a child. I have a baby. I have a toddler son. He's beautiful. And he will live on. And I will show him how to be a good human being. How not to be. How to be kind. How to be thoughtful. How to be considerate. How to not hurt others. There's just no reason for it. Sure, people can bicker. People can argue. No one's perfect. But why hit? Why bring physicality into this? Is it because I'm too much? See, he wasn't always hitting me. He was hitting my disease. He wasn't hitting me. He was hitting his dad. He wasn't hitting me. He was hitting his childhood trauma. Even though he was most definitely hitting me. Calling me horrific names. Accusing me of horrendous, disgusting, debaucherous things that I would never do. And it threw me for such a loop that I spent the entire relationship trying to convince him that I'm not any of those things. And I wasted 6 years of my life. And I have multiple sclerosis. And there's no telling on how this disease will play out. I'm on the best medicine that man has made so far. Very, very thankful for that. And my doctor team, my support net, what little support net that I do have. Thanks, guys, I guess. That look was for... No, I don't. Because people inherently only really care about themselves. And that's a cognitive bias that I've been aware of since college. Remember, when I started this, I explained to you guys that I do actually have 2 college degrees in the arts. And in order to get a college degree, you have to take electives and extra classes to get extra credits. They don't, if you want to go for art, they're not just like gonna be like, okay, now you're gonna paint all day, every day, and then we'll give you a degree. No, they want you to know about math. They want you to know about writing. They want you to know about history. They want you to know about the world so that when you go out with your art, you're able to explain what your art means. You kind of can't just say, hey, this is a pretty picture, buy it. No, you need to explain, why is it a pretty picture? Well, it's because it's a lucky cat, and it's been, it's traditional. It's been in the Japanese culture for thousands and thousands of years. The Japanese believe that the neko cat is lucky. So maneki neko, and that's why. So if I didn't go to college and learn that, I'd just be like, isn't that a cute cat? And also, that is MS in a nutshell. It kind of looks a lot like ADHD. And, maybe some... It's hard to explain. I guess, maybe some mood disorders mixed in. Because, it's a disease that affects the brain. So, I'm not going to act neurotypical. So I got a lot of misdiagnoses. Someone help me here in the comments. Can you phonetically help me? So, getting misdiagnosed a lot didn't help anything. 20-something years. Knowing full and well there's something wrong with me, and...
Oh, we know something's wrong with you. I mean, we see that your white blood cell count is high. It's very high. It's like 19,000. But we can't find anything wrong with you, so we're just going to send you home with some antibiotics, and, it's probably just all in your head. You're definitely fighting something, though, but the symptoms you're saying, they're probably all in your head just because you don't feel well.
So funny that I was told repeatedly over and over and over that my symptoms were all in my head. MS is a brain disease. It is a disease of the brain where your white blood cells mistake... Let's start this from the top. That's called MS. That's what MS does. So sometimes I can mix up my words. A lot of people would be like, oh, me too. That's part of why I got misdiagnosed for so long, is because I'd go to the doctor and say, sometimes I mix up my words. And they'd be like, me too. As a doctor, they would be like, me too. Go home, crazy lady. No one cares about your normal, menial human problems. So anyways, the medical gaslighting in this country and just all over the world is insane. And just the lack of knowledge in the medical community, even for doctors, nurses, whatever, they just don't know. You can't see MS on a CT scan. You can't, even if you have contrast, you can't see it unless it's extremely progressed. So I had 30 CT scans, maybe. You know, it's all in your head, but we'll go ahead and take a look with the wrong machine, over and over and over again with the wrong machine. All I ever needed was an MRI with contrast. But they don't want to do that because MRI machines are really expensive. Insurance doesn't like to pay for MRIs unless
There was good enough reason.
and not a whole lot of people get MS, at least that we know of, because how often have you had, you yourself, how often have you had a scan of your brain? I'll give you a moment to think of it. When was the last time that they took a look under the hood? I look very yellow. I don't know if it's the light or what is going on here. I know I've got a lot of shifting lights going on, but I have no filters on. This is just my house, my own lighting. My lighting system there, my microphone here lights up. This is, excuse me, this is what I actually look like. No filters. Crooked teeth, wrinkles, who cares? I'm a human. I don't need a whole bunch of filters and stuff. It's alright. I do look yellow though. MS can be endearing. Gets you thinking, why am I yellow here? And here, and here, and here, and here. Is this just the bad camera? It's a Lenovo Legion. Oh, this thing is nice. This nice laptop. Ugh. It's gonna turn off. Got some cool headphones. And the Bose Quiet Comforts. So anyways, guys, as I was saying before, it is pretty much impossible to know whether or not you have MS on your own. You can ask yourself some questions if you're really concerned, and maybe, talk to your doctor. That's all I can really suggest to you, and I can tell you what I went through. So